Hello, it's Miss Hampton, and I'm going to go over your quiz from last week, which is the reflections quiz. I'm going to go ahead and show you um, we're going to go over what the question is asking, and then we're going to also go over the answer choices and why those answer choices are correct. Number one, figure one can be transformed. Here's figure one to create figure two using a single transformation. This transformation would be a reflection specifically across the y-axis. So correct answer choice is C. Question number two, graph the image of points A and B after a reflection over the x-axis. So we've got the x-axis right here. A and B are going to be on the opposite side of that. So I'm going to click on the word point A. Right now, point A, it is at 7, 8. So it'll be at 7, negative 8. And point B is currently at 2, 3, so it will be at 2, negative 3. Okay, next question. Find the coordinates of image J, which is at 8, 7, after reflecting over the x-axis. And nicely, the x-axis is highlighted, so you should be on the opposite side of that. We talked about that in class, about the importance of highlighting your line of reflection. So it's going to reflect, instead of being at 8, 7, it's going to be at 8, negative 7. Remember, the y values are opposite. Graph the image of S, 7, 8, after a reflection over the x-axis. So again, we're reflecting over the x-axis. This time it's not highlighted. So 7, 8 will now become 7, negative 8, and graph my point. Number 5. Points R and R prime are reflections of each other about the colored line, which is the y-axis. If the distance between R and R prime is 16 inches, what's the difference between R and the colored line? Since these guys are equal distance from each other, they must be 8 spaces, and I can also confirm it down here. 0 to 8 for R prime and 0 to negative 8 for R, so the answer is 8 inches. Number 6, draw the reflection of the figure over the y-axis. This is your y-axis, so this figure will now become over here. And every point we move equal distance from the line of reflection. So point C would be at 2, 1. Point H would be at 2, 3. Point G is going to be at 5, 5. Point E is going to be at 5, negative 1. And then I'm going to close it up by clicking that last point right there. Number 7. Point A is reflected over the y-axis. Find the resulting point. Y-axis reflecting over. Right now it's negative 5, 3. It will be at positive 5, positive 3. It's labeled B, so we're not quite sure why is we're doing that, but I would know which point you're talking about. It should be A prime. Okay, then we've got find the coordinate of the image 4, 0 after it's reflected over the y-axis. So again, this had a nice purple line to help you to identify that. So your ordered pair was going to be negative 4, 0. The transformation maps a pre-image triangle to the image triangle shown in the coordinate below. If the pre-image triangle is reflected over the y-axis to get this image that they're showing you, what are the coordinates of the pre-image? So the pre-image would be on the other side of the y-axis, so it'd be right over here, which means that our x values are going to be the opposite, y value stays the same. So I could look at each and every point. I'm going to start with negative 4, 1. It's going to be on the opposite side of y, so we're in the positive x, positive y zone. So positive x, positive y is right here. Point D is an option, or option D, and option C. Those are the only two that have the correct answer choice for that point, negative 4, 1. So now let's look at another point. Let's look at, since these guys match the 6, 1, let's look at the other point. I'm not sure where 4, 6 comes from, because that's definitely not one of the ordered pairs, so I'm thinking it's going to be D. The negative 6 now becomes a positive 6, negative 6, so this is correct, point D. reflect across the x-axis. So here B and C will be below the x-axis and point A will be above. So I'm going to click line segment. So A is one space below the x-axis, A prime is one space above. And they're calling it H when you click the button. B is 3, 4. So we're going to go 3, -4 to reflect across the x-axis. And C is at +3, 1. So we're going to go +3, -1. And I'm going to connect all those points. Click and click. There we go. And there's your reflection. And number 11, triangle GLQ is shown on the coordinate plane. Determine whether each statement is true or false after triangle GLQ is reflected across the y-axis. So this figure will be on the left side of the y-axis. Select the correct cell in each row. The image of point G is at 1, 1. Well, that's going to be false, because if G is at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, it would be -3, 4. The image of point L is at 2, 2. That's going to be false again, because L is in the positive zone. When it reflects over, it's going to be in the negative zone. So this is false. The image of point Q is at -4, 1. Q, the pre-image, is at 1, 2, 3, 4, -1. So reflecting over the y-axis, it'd be -4, -1. So this is true. And there you go. There's your review for your quiz. Please contact me or reach out to me if you need any additional help. I'm happy to help.